Hi, I'm Tara, and welcome to Let's Do Books. I'm joined today by Renee Dahlia, author of 9 romances, including the FF romance Liability. Authors are readers too, so I'm excited to hear about the FF books that she loves. Welcome, Renee.
Hi.
So, you've been reading some lesfic lately, and there are some that you think are pretty great that other people should check out too. So what is the first book you want to talk about?
Okay, so I'm going to start with the romance class book. It's called No Two Ways, and I hope I get the pronunciation of her name right, but it's Chiyu Rodriguez. And it's basically a bisexual woman who's kind of exploring herself and falls in love with another woman. It's only category length, so it's nice, easy, short read. Really fun, really good exploration of what it means to be bi and some of the kind of issues that come up, but without it being all about that, you know, it's mostly just about the romance and banter and hanging out together and fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone in particular that you think would especially like to read this one?
Pretty much anyone who loves lesbian romance, I think, because it's, for me as a bisexual person, it really worked because it sort of helped me understand myself a lot better from that point of view. But also it's just a really sweet romance. It's not that hot from memory, a little medium heat, I guess. But it's really fun.
Nice. So what is the next book?
So the next book I'm going to talk about is like the hottest book I have ever read across the whole spectrum of all books.
All right, hit me with it.
And it's called Fire on the Ice by Tamsen Parker.
I love this book so much. I'm so glad you said it. Oh my god, you're not even kidding. It's super hot.
It's basically, I described it to someone the other day as character development while fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, it hits all the romance beats. It's fabulous, and it's just, yeah, super hot.
So can you just share a little bit of what it's about?
So it's about 2 professional Olympians, ice skaters. One's a speed skater and one's I don't know, what do you call that? The little dancey one.
Figure skater. Or maybe she's an ice dancer, because I think those are 2 different.
There's 2 different sorts, and I'm totally confused because I live in Australia and it never gets cold here.
She's one of them.
So she does one of the twirly ones on ice that we don't do here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really nice, I mean, it's mostly just one giant sex scene, but it's also, there's heaps of banter, which is totally my favourite thing in a book. And there's just that whole exploration of how to do a professional athletic career while having a partner and how to balance out all the different scheduling issues that they have, and professional jealousy and personal jealousy, and I don't know, a ton of really cool stuff.
One of the other aspects that I really liked about it is Blaze, the speed skater, so she's also bi, but I liked that she's also polyamorous, because there's not a lot of polyamorous representation in lesfic, and I think, Tamsen Parker did some really interesting things with that, challenging some of the ideas about bisexual people and showing that, like, the 2 aren't, like, it's, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I just like how she was
very clever, I thought, all of that stuff, and just dealt with in a way that was not a big deal. Like, it's just, this is who I am, this is how I deal with my life. You can get on board this train, or it's kind of a deal breaker to the relationship if they don't figure it out. But it's also, I'm not going to change who I am.
Yes.
You know, that balance of that, it's...
Yes. Yeah. I love that it was not...
dealt with really well.
Yeah, I agree. I love that it wasn't something that she just gets cured of thanks to the love of her romantic partner.
Yeah. And the temptation would be there, I think, because we are set up in society to end up in couples, and to deal with anything outside of that does take a lot of openness from both partners to kind of understand each other's needs and how to fit that into your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go get that book. Oh my god, if you like erotic romance, just like get on that one. You need to. What's your next book?
So the next one is KJ Charles' Proper English that just came out recently. It's kind of, if you really like sort of smash the patriarchy historical with a bit of murder, it's really cool. Yeah, it's got some really interesting subplots. It's got some really, I like the way, how do you say, they kind of explore the whole, I thought everybody went through that phase when they were in high school, but, I didn't really grow out of it kind of thing, I don't know. And, yeah, just the sort of how to actually talk about being gay or being a lesbian in a space where it wasn't talked about or allowed. That kind of discussion is interesting because I think not everyone in the world is free to talk about this stuff.
No. That one's a historical, right?
Yeah, it's historic, 1920s-ish.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought it was older than that, but I've only seen the cover and I haven't read it, so.
Yeah. And, the person that you really want to get murdered gets murdered, which is very satisfying.
So what's it about?
It's like a house party with a brother and sister who are both queer, and they have this very complicated arrangement with arranged marriages and nonsense, and then there's a couple of other people at the house party, and there's some financial stuff, and, just very typical historical setup for a house party. And then there's this really, dude who gets himself murdered, and then they have to figure out who's done it, which is interesting.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, and it's, she's such a great writer. She can kind of pull together a whole bunch of kind of, different, like her plotting is really tight, and yet the discussions and the sub-themes are really interesting too. And that,
Mm-hmm.
And it's nicely inclusive for an English historical, which you don't always get.
Do you think, for people that don't typically read murder mysteries, would this be kind of a nice place to jump in and start?
Yeah, because it's still, the core is the romance. The murder mystery is the subplot and the reason for them spending time together.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what's the fourth book you want?
Yeah, it's kind of graphic, so...
Oh, like the murder? Oh, really?
Maybe if you don't want to read about, someone getting stabbed with whatever it was. Grand sword.
Well, but I mean, if he was a bad dude, maybe you do want to read about it. I don't know.
It was very satisfying, I have to say.
Okay. I think I might actually have this book on my Kindle, and I feel like I need to go check it out. I need to push it up my own list.
Thank you for being an awesome listener and supporting Tilt, the channel that brings you all the podcasts you want to hear. You're listening to Tilt. Find more podcasts on thelesbiantalkshow.com.
So what's the fourth book that you'd like to talk about?
It's a short story, and I kind of want to talk about it because it's written in a really unusual style, and when I first read it, I didn't even notice. And it wasn't until somebody said later, "Did you realise that's written in second person?" That I read it again and went, "Oh, so it is. How did they pull that off?"
Yeah.
I just thought it was a beautiful piece of writing. So it's written by Suleikha Snyder, and it's in her Deal or No Deal short story package. It's called Jessies Girl, and it's basically the Dolly Parton Jolene song, but a short story romance, and it's really cute.
I don't know about this. Now I feel like I need to check it out.
I think most of the short stories in that collection she's written are FM, but this one's FF, and it's really cleverly written.
She wrote an FF short story that I read once, because she usually writes male-female romances, and like full-length ones. But this short story, I'm trying to remember, it was either a ghost story or a zombie story.
Right.
Which, I mean, I know I should be able to tell the difference, but honestly, like, it's been a few years since I read it. I know ghosts and zombies are not the same. I think it was a zombie story, though. And it was one where, like, I read the premise and thought, how is that going to work? But it was actually really beautiful.
Yeah, same thing. It's just, it's not, like, you read it and it draws you right in, and it's not really what you expect, and then it has this fantastic ending, and you get right to the end, and it's not until someone later says, did you know that was written in second person? You're like, what? How did I not even notice?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I need to go find that now. Ah, you're making my list grow.
Is that why you do this?
I mean, it is. Yeah, yes. I complain, but, like, I love it. So, yeah. Okay, thank you for helping my list to grow. Is there anything else you've been reading that you want to give a shout out to?
I just wanted to give 3 quick shout outs to Vanessa North's Off Limits. I thought that was really hot. She writes quite a few FF books, and I've really enjoyed them.
Is that the one that takes place in the private club?
Yes.
The members only club? I really liked that one. Yeah, that's a great choice. Now I'm just smiling. You can see my face. I'm just like smiling and looking up as I'm like remembering that book. I had such a hard time putting that one down.
Yeah, it totally was a read all in one go, stay up all night book.
What else?
I quite enjoyed Courtney Milan's Mrs. Martin's Incomparable Adventure. But that was it's got some really beautiful metaphors in it, and these 2 sweet old ladies who go around and beat up the grandnephew or the grandson or whatever it is.
That
and just take them down. It was just delightful.
It absolutely is. I was reading it and I started laughing until I was crying at the part with, it was either the carolers or the geese. I don't want to get too specific because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but...
Was it ducks or geese anyway?
Oh, yeah, I can't remember. It might be. But like both of those parts, I was laughing so hard. I'm weeping. And Neil turns to me and he's like, are you okay? And I was like, I can't even explain this. It won't make sense. But oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just think the metaphor with the tree was beautiful. And there's some really lovely moments in it. I mean, obviously, she's such a beautiful writer anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I've read everything of hers.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a really special moment too, and it's nice because it is a historical, but she is interrogating a lot of stuff that's happening right now, and just that idea that women become less visible as they age, especially if they don't have money. And it's like, I had just been laughing that hard, like maybe 20 minutes earlier, and then I get to this part that's like so beautiful and touching and raw, and I was kind of amazed that she did it all in the same book.
Yeah, and it's not a very long book, really.
No, it's a novella.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really poignant moments in it, and it's just, I also love that it features 2 really old ladies, like the people that you hardly ever see written about. I mean, we do in romance have a bit of a youth problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's 69 and 71, I think, or 73. Yeah. And what's the last book you want to give a shout out to?
It's called Soft on Soft, and it's totally different to everything else I've recommended.
Okay.
It's almost a romantic story in a sense, because you've got 2 characters who really don't like sex or the idea of it, and they spend a lot of time very carefully navigating how to change from a deep friendship into a romance. And one of them has anxiety attacks, and is it's just really gentle, like it's like a big warm blanket around you on a cold day.
Okay.
It's just totally different in terms of, I mean, I tend to read a lot of books that are quite hot, and this is sort of the opposite in a sense that it just kind of wraps you up and is really kind and gentle and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who wrote that one?
Mina Waheed.
Okay.
Minawahid.
Thanks. I'll add it to the list because I think we have a lot of overlap in our tastes.
I mean, it's just. I think when you read a lot of quite hot books, it's nice occasionally to read one that's really different from that point of view. And this book, it wasn't so much that it was closed door that made it different, but the fact that the two characters are really kind to each other and really gentle.
Mm-hmm. So, where can people find you online if they want to connect with you?
So I've got my own website, which is reneedahlia.com. And then I'm basically the worst at social media because I've given myself a different name under everything. So I have an Insta, which I think is Renee Dahlia Author. And I have Facebook, which is like Renee Dahlia Writer, maybe. Or the other way around, I'm something. And then my Twitter is like a really old account that I set up under a totally random name, which is DEKABAT.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, Alex's Hall has a crazy handle, so if it works for him,
absolutely.
I can totally roll with that.
You definitely can.
But it's just because it's a very old handle and, you know, I just stuck with it and I half use it for work and half use it for my author thing, and it's just a sort of a screen dump of my life in all its confusing bits.
All right, well, I'm going to go look at it again now because I'm a little intrigued. That is all for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Tara, and you've been listening to Let's Do Books. You can email me at tara@thelesbianreview.com with your questions or comments, or if you're an author who's interested in joining me on the show to talk about the lesfic you love or the trends that have you interested, please let me know. If you've enjoyed this episode, please check out the show notes where you'll find a Patreon link for The Lesbian Talk Show or visit patreon.com/thelesbiantalkshow. Patrons get exclusive content like bonus podcasts and author interviews that no one else gets access to. To find this and many other great shows, all you need to do is search for The Lesbian Talk Show on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, or Spotify.